Well, hello folks. Welcome back to the channel where it is all about racing. As you recall, a few days ago, I downloaded a video of Barago F1 car. Today we're going to get back to sports cars. In this case, a Mercedes AMG GT3 from AKKA ASP has competed in the 24 Hours of Spa in 2020. And that name is just a mouthful. Anyhow, what we're going to do first is take a look at this car, packaging, presentation, talk a little bit about the team, the drivers, and then we're going to take a close look at the car and all the cool details that abound. Now, as I mentioned, folks, this car is made by Spark. It is a 1/43 scale replica. It's resin. It's sealed. Comes mounted on this wooden cream painted base. Has an acrylic jewel cover. Open from the front. The sides give you a front view of the car as well as a rear view of it. The rear of the car just has essentially the Belgian flag. And the bottom of it, oops, if you lift it up, we'll turn it over this way, gives you all the details. Imported by Minimax, made by Spark. It has official licensing from Mercedes. And guys, that's important. You want to buy products that are officially licensed, not this off-the-wall crap that sometimes you can find on the internet. Now, one thing I thought I'd point out, on the inside of these boxes, you have these little colored tabs. Virtually every manufacturer has them. These are basically their signature cards. You can take this to a race, get the drivers to sign it. This way they don't sign your acrylic jewel cover, they don't sign your car. I think that, quite frankly, ruins it. Just have them sign that little card that you see right there. All right, folks, the Mercedes was developed in 2015 using a naturally aspirated V8 engine. The chassis is built of carbon fiber reinforced polymer to reduce weight to meet FIA regulations. An Evo, this model that you're looking here, was introduced in 2020, of which included a styling and numerous mechanical changes, including a larger 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V8 engine. And guys, it sounds really, really good. If you go to the races, you can hear this car, and if you think that the Aston Martins sound the same, they do, because Aston Martin uses the same engine that you have in the Mercedes. Now, about the team, which you can clearly see here on the front of the base. AKKA ASP was founded in 1999 as Auto Sports Promotion, hence ASP, by racing driver Jerome Policard, and has grown into a leading GT World Challenge team. Now, in 2015, the team partnered with AKKA Technologies to become AKKA ASP. And in 2016, they switched from running Ferraris to the Mercedes AMG brand. Now, a little bit about this car. As I mentioned, it's a Spark model. It's 1/43 scale. And folks, I collect a lot of models. I consider Spark to be top of the line. Look Smart are exceptional cars as well. Basically Ferraris, and I do own several of those. You have seen them. Spark actually makes those, by the way. HPI makes a really good car, as does TSM. I collect quite a few of those. But Spark is my preferred brand overall because everything they do is just top notch. They can be pricey. This car, for example, retails for about $85. I bid on it on eBay, and I got it for about $60, which, was more than I really wanted to pay, but far less than retail would cost on it. And I don't regret it at all. It is an absolutely beautiful model. What makes Spark so good is the replicas are accurate. The paint and the finish on all of them, and this one included, is absolutely spectacular. Guys, one thing I look for when I buy a car are mistakes and flaws on it. Quality control issues. You very, very rarely have them with Spark. This car is no exception. The finish is absolutely beautiful. I mean, just look at that gray. It's almost like a gunmetal with sparkles. You've got black on it. You've got gold and white accents. It is an absolutely beautiful car. Folks, the air inlets that you have on the fender here, these are actually perforated. They're not painted. There's texture to it. You can feel it. This is what makes a Spark a Spark. You've got aerials that are thin, delicate, nicely detailed. Take a look at the wheels. I always look at the wheels first. They color and they accurately do this. This is the hub, and those are colored right side from left side, front to rear sometimes. I didn't do it in this particular one. You can clearly see the calipers, the rotors, kind of hard to see with this. You've got Pirelli tires. where the mechanics will monitor air pressure. They have this marked on the wheel so the mechanic can easily find it when the car comes to a stop in the pits. One thing I like about the Mercedes being a front engine car is you have the exhaust that comes out the side. Now this is actually perforated here, and you can see the copper exhausts, or at least it looks like it's copper, and the silver tipped exhaust. It is absolutely beautifully done. It's textured. It is gorgeous. You've got the number plate here. You can see the interior. It's kind of hard with these colored windows, but you can see the seat, AKA on it. Look at all the carbon fiber texture, the rivets on it. The names of the drivers here. This is potentially a port where they can take in fuel. They don't use it in this particular side of the car. You can see that the mirror is beautifully done in carbon fiber. The windshield banner is spectacular. You've got the tear tabs here. Here you have the emergency switches for both electrical and the internal fire extinguishers they have in the engine compartment. Now, taking a cool look at the front of the car, I love the big Mercedes logo that you have in the grille. I think it's absolutely stunning. This is your tow hook over here. Got the Mercedes logo again on the top of the hill, the hood, excuse me, not the hill. These are your latches to remove the engine compartment. You have fog lights here. You have carbon fiber dive planes right here, one on each side, as well as the carbon fiber front splitter. Now, underneath the hood opening, you can see the radiator, and you can also see the fan on that. I love how Minerva oil is done in that beautiful chrome silver color. You can kind of see it as I pull in and out, and it's just really neat looking. You can see the team name right up here. Boy, am I really tongue-tied today. You're going to see the French flag on this. This is a French team. We talked about that. Now, one thing I particularly love about Spark models is the fact they have the names of the drivers on the opposite side of the base. In this case, Spa being a 24-hour race, you have 2 bronze-rated amateur drivers as well as 2 professional gold-rated drivers. And they are as follows. And folks, I hope I say this right. If I don't, Petito, you let me know, okay? The first one is Jean-Luc Babalik. I'm not sure if I said that right. FIA bronze driver. You have Fabian Barthez, FIA bronze. He is also a former footballer or soccer player. Did you know that? You have Jim Pla, FIA gold driver, one of the pros, and Thomas Drouet, also FIA gold, another of the pros. Now, there's 2 things you'll see on the opposite side of the car that you won't see on the other side. You have the air jack input right here. This is where they hook an air hose up to it. It propels the car upward, so they can change the tires. Also, you have the fuel inputs on this side as well. You can also do that on the other side, but they have not accommodated that for this particular race. They do that based on the pit area. On the top of the car, you can see the 2 aerials, the escape hatch, number of the car. Really, really nicely done. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, one thing I particularly love about Spark models are the fact that they are limited edition. They only made 300 of this particular car, and this was number 54 in the line, a rather low production number and a low car. I have never gotten a number 1 of 300 or a number 300 of 300, and I have probably at least 100 of these limited edition cars. Now, the back of this car is absolutely beautifully done. I really like the Mercedes. I love how they fit the rear diffuser within the framework of the car. As you can see, it's beautifully done in carbon fiber. It has gold trim all along the accents at the side. I think is really neat. You've got air vents here to allow air to escape from the tire. You've got your tow hook right here. Tail lights, nicely done in plastic. You see the Mercedes logo, Team AKKA ASP. I particularly love how they incorporate the gold, the white, and the black in the rear of the car. And just take a good look at the carbon fiber trim on that rear wing. It is really nicely done. Minerva oil, clearly visible there. Another thing before I close that I really like, if you take a look at the support struts for the rear wing, look how detailed and nicely done they are. These are the things that Spark does really well. One reason why I buy Spark models almost exclusively, except in certain cases. Anyhow, This video has gone over 10 minutes. It's a long one. Guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy my paddock tours in 2 days, this Friday, I will be leaving for VIR, that's Virginia International Raceway, the Fanatec GT Challenge. This is the SRO races that we have in the U.S. It's a really cool venue. It's relatively quiet. We call SRO the secret race organization because nobody in the United States seems to know what it is. There are not a lot of fans at these races. I like it because it's quiet. I can get up and close with all the cars without any issues. No crowds to fight over. I'll be meeting friends there. We'll be walking along the paddock. I'll maybe film some race footage for you, but you definitely get a paddock tour. Get to look at all the cars. Talk to some of the drivers. Folks, I'll see you there. Have fun. Take care.